What's a timberman want with being a wickie?
Just looking to earn a living, just like any man. Starting new.
I had read that after seeing The Witch, you reach out to Robert.
That's true.
You mentioned you wanted to work together. So what was it about that movie specifically and him as his work as a director that told you?
Just it was such a specific world, a period world that you could enter very easily. It didn't point to itself, but had such incredible detail and such a specific sense of place. The story was told in a very unique way and a very cinematic way, and it was beautiful. So all those things made me think, wow, there's a special filmmaker here.
Then for him to turn around and show you the script, was there a surprise at where he was taking you with this? Or?
You know, I think it's a relative of The Witch. It's very different,
sure.
But you know, in this beautiful, poetic, elevated language, was fun to play with. You never get to you very seldom get to play with this kind of language in cinema. The way he was going to shoot it, the fact that it was a two-hander, so many beautiful themes swirling around in this very simple story. No, this was great fun.
Robert Pattinson had just mentioned that, you know, he read this and he was like, I wonder if Robert Eggers knows how much comedy there is in the script, how funny this is to me. Did you read that too?
I think it's clear.
Yeah.
I think it's
okay.
clear. Yeah.
Certainly. And I mean, and you know, other things that are very clear from the script, I'm sure, is this sort of sexual subtext between the two and the chemistry you guys have.
You don't know until you get there. You know, you have ideas, but you don't know what's going to happen until you get there. Yes, there's elements of that.
Sure. So, I mean, on that note, were you ever surprised, you know, acting in the moment opposite Robert, how were you surprised by him, what he's bringing to the performance and how far he would take things?
I'm surprised by everything. That's why I'm an actor.
Of course.
Keeping secrets, are you?
No, sir.
Why don't you spill your beans?
You mentioned the language, and I mean, quite literally, the words that you speak. It's I mean, and the dialect you use too. It's fascinating. I mean, he obviously researched this very well. How much?
Well, he's a freak for research.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful because when you come, he gives you all this material that he's been poring over. So there was beautiful stuff. For the accent, for example, lots of dialect tapes, interviews with lighthouse keepers, beautiful vintage footage, beautiful photographs, just so many things. Sea shanties, I mean, lots of things to really get you there and start to build a relationship to this world.
I'm not an actor myself, but you know, if I'm reading this and if I'm so focused on trying to nail having a certain accent and dialect, I think I'd lose the performance then.
No, not really, because you know, first of all, there's no such thing as nailing. Let's put it there. It's something that floats.
I think you nailed it, though.
Okay, you can think that. I can't, okay? I don't want to. It's always hovering. Everything is hovering. But, you know, you're bringing things together to explore an experience, a mystery. And that language tells you what to do. It's so beautifully written, and it demands an accent. And it's just like singing a song. You have to find the right pitch and the right key. And when you find it, it feels good. And then you sort of disappear into it and become that language. And then you tie it to an intention, and then it's off to the races, and stuff happens. And that's a beautiful thing. That's what that's the creative part of being an actor to me. It's not about invention or choices. It's about being engaged in a way that sends you someplace that you couldn't imagine being. And in that process, you have an experience where you learn something, and hopefully it's recorded and framed in such a way and transparent enough that an audience can share that with you. And that's the beauty. It's not what you're telling. It's you're going through experiences and you're sharing it. And in that case, that language gives you a huge opportunity to think in a different way and, of course, clearly speak in a different way. So it's a gift.
Daddy! Let Neptune strike ye dead, Winslow! Oh!